Hello, 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 hello. What is going on Facebook and YouTube? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you all. And I am grateful to be able to be here. Like I say, grateful to be in a number. Let's say grateful to be in a number one more time. Not number, but number. We're going to say number. We're grateful to be in the number. So I'm grateful that you are one in the number today, tonight. So please be sure to like and share on what I want to share on tonight. Is vital and it's important. And this is something that you can take with you, whether you're a person that has dealt with depression, anxiety, or anytime that you may have those days that may just be I'm not even feeling today. Like there are some days where I'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm just gonna wake up and I'm just gonna try again tomorrow because today was not it. Today was not it. And today I just want to share some things because even though you see, and I'm quote unquote the doctor, but I promise you all, some of these things that I share with you all are things that I have lived and overcome. When you think about, I talk about depression, when I'm talking about pushing through, when I'm talking about stretching, when I'm talking to all those things, sometimes I'm in the thick of it. And many times people be like, oh my gosh, you just so strong. Listen, you don't know what had to happen back in that room back there before I came out. Yeah, I went into that room a little weak. Now I've come out, I'm a little stronger. But listen, sometimes, y'all, it's not the fact that sometimes I'm already over it, is that I have worked through it. I've had to have a therapist. I've had to have I keep a coach. Either it's going to be one of the two. I keep that because I need that factor in my life to continue to push, to have that person that's going to speak life into you whenever you feel like you're at that broken place, that person that you can look at and see, man, like I see the strength that they have, and I need, it's so important to have that. And so I just want to let you all know that a lot of things that are shared is what, not only that I have worked through with clients that have been able to see changes within weeks, but also I've had to work through my own struggles, my own things. So I'm very transparent about my walk, and not that I've already have arrived, but I'm still arriving, right? We are always a workmanship that is continually working and growing. So when we take the time to really reflect on, okay, so I have not gotten at this place where it's just all peaches and creams. It's not going to be there all the time. I got to be able to have these tools ready at all times. And I can't wait until it marinates for months and months and months, and then I do something, which many times people will do. They will, know that they feel this trigger that's been working on them for a while. They know that they have been at this place where they have been feeling a little bit of worry, and they've been feeling, they say, a little anxious. But many times people don't get help or try to get help until it has done some significant impact. Where it's at a place when they're feeling suicidal, where it's at a place where they don't want to live anymore, and they're at a place where the depression is now taking over, and now they don't have the drive to move, or the passion is gone. They don't really take that time whenever there's burnout to do what they need to do to prevent burnout, to try to work on those things. They'll wait until the passion is gone. I'm stressed out, my hair is falling out. So I just want to encourage you, when I talk about this thing being unmasked, that number one, we have to be real with ourselves, that we are real humans that deal with real issues day-to-day life. And as it never has been said in the word or anywhere, that once we have been at a place that we have always arrived, we will always need to refine. We will always need to grow. We will always need to shift. We will always be at a place where we need to continually do things to take care of ourselves. So it's vital. With so many things that I share, that people have been able to get changes within weeks, is because they did the work. They did the work, and then they continue to do the work. And even when I have had clients that have come back because they said, okay, I need a refresher, it's not because they have really gotten back at that low place. It's that they realize, okay, I see that I'm kind of going here, and I need to do some things on today. So what I'm going to share with you on today is a nugget that you can take That when you are dealing with depression and you are struggling, and those moments of sadness, and you feel like life, they say life, that quote unquote life is life, and they've been been doing these things here, uppercut, everything. Like you trying to get a break and it's hitting you. Throwing the haymakers, what we call them haymakers, be doing like, and you trying to fight back, and it's like, oh my gosh, what can I do to get out of this? You can take some of these things today that I talk about one major way, and that's going to be under all of these things. And so, first of all, I just want to talk about when people talk about depression, and sometimes people really don't understand that there are so many things that are not, I would say, the avert signals where okay, this is depression. Those things sometimes can be subtle, wherein I feel like I don't have energy. My sex drive is not what it used to be. I used to, my husband, I'm trying to say this for married folks. I'm not saying y'all single folks supposed to be doing, but I'm just saying, my sex drive is where it used to be. I'm feeling like I'm a little more snappier than I normally am. Things that I used to love to do, it seems like the passion is kind of leaving away from me slowly. Things, with my family, I'm kind of feeling like I want to be more alone, more withdrawn. I'm feeling like I'm being more emotional. Irritation is hitting me a little more. I go to church, I'm there, but it seems like I'm just there. It's not a connection like it used to be. I feel like I'm praying, but I don't feel that connection with God like it used to be. So things are feeling like they're slowly draining away. And even though I'm at a place and it's a big room of people, but I feel like I am the only one there. And then it sometimes feel like the things that they are preaching, or the things and encouragement that I'm giving to other people, that I really am not believing it for myself, that it really can happen. These are some things, are some indicators that, okay, I need to start doing something, and I need to start implementing it now. One of the things that I teach all the time is not so much as intervention, but it's also prevention. Prevention doesn't mean that it will never happen, that you will never have those sad days. But when you are constantly doing things to take care of yourself, constantly refocusing your mind, constantly doing these things to combat, then it will not be able to hit you as hard. So when you feel like, okay, I'm not sleeping, I'm not sleeping like I used to, I'm up thinking about things constantly, or my thoughts are a little more negative, I'm using a positive person, or I'm at a place where I am sleeping a lot, where I feel so tired all the time that all I want to do is sleep. Or I see my conversations are changing. Things that I used to be really positive about, now I really don't feel it anymore. I'm just not feeling, it's just not there. So these are some indicators that either I need to start looking at, okay, what is it? Is it something situational? Is it something that I need to address? But these are some signs that depression may be on the rise. And if I do not do what I need to do now, then I'm going to start going down this slope. I want you to not go down that slope. The fact that you are still here, the fact that you still have breath in your body, means that you still have two things. You still have a purpose, and you have a plan for your life. And many people are living this world that they are just existing. And there have been times in my life where I was just existing, where I was waking up and I was doing things, but it was not fruitful for me. I was waking up and I was doing things, but I'm like, what is it that I'm like? It was not bringing joy here. You're doing things and you're giving to people. I'm getting off a little bit. I kind of getting off the depression a little bit, but you're doing things, but the passion is no longer there. You're serving others, but it's no longer serving you. So I have to recognize these things and realize I need to make a change, because if I am here and I am still living, breathing, I still have two things. I have a purpose and I have a plan. But if I am struggling with depression, it will cloud it up. So I say to you that if you are a person right now that has had any of those indicators, and you know how we will go to WebMD and we start counting off that list, and if you had maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of those things on that list, you may need to start implementing some things on today to start shifting your life, because you have to be saying, okay, I'm not going to allow my life to continue as is. I am going to choose today to make a choice to live. I'm not going to allow myself to die just to die again. No, long as I'm still having breath, I want you to choose to live. I know that divorce hurt. I know when that man left you, it hurt. I know when that woman walked out on you, that it hurt. I know that you're dealing with children and they are giving you problem after problem after problem. You've been praying and you've been trying to seek for a change. I can understand, can only imagine of you going to a job and you're dealing with a boss and it's constantly stressful. I can only imagine if you're in a marriage and you both are trying to make a thing work, but it seems like we're at a point of separation. I can only imagine when you feel lonely. Get it. I get it. You're lonely and you're saying, God, I want my mate. Where is he? And it seems like God has put an egg on you. I get it. Have you all had those moments where you praying and it seems like it's just going to the ceiling, you just talking? You know, you hear people like, I called to the Lord and he answered my cry. Girl, I've been crying all week. I've been crying all year. Where is it, God? Your word says you will never leave us nor forsake us, and to make our requests known. I'm making it known. So when is this going to change? My heart has been hurting for so long, and I am trying to seek something. I'm trying to get some peace. I want some peace in my mind. I say to you to refocus and readjust. Philippians 4:8 says to keep your thoughts continually fixed on all that is authentic and real and honorable and admirable and beautiful, respectful, pure and holy, merciful and kind, and fasten your thoughts on every glorious work of God, praising him always. When we are dealing with some form of depression and it grabs a hold of your mind, those thoughts come. One thing can set you off. One thing. And we began to start looking at things more from a black and white perspective, as opposed to looking at things from the other perspective. We began to look at things more of a glass half empty, as opposed to it being really full. We began to start looking at it as an all of nothing, as opposed to thinking about what is the resolution that I can do to kind of get out of this. We began to reflect on this thing of what is, as opposed to realizing that we've been able to overcome things before, that even though I have had this situation to happen, but I overcame that, so I should be able to overcome this. We began to allow ourselves to not tap in to the real authority that we have within us, because we are allowing those thoughts, those things to reshift our focus. We will begin to get amnesia, right? We will begin to get amnesia about life, of the happiness that we had before. We begin to have amnesia of how times really have worked out for you before. We began to get amnesia about how whenever you were depressed and how you were able to come out into another and glorious place before. We began to get amnesia about how I was able to come from homelessness to come from my bank account being at a negative 20, and now I'm able to pay my bills, even though I think that it may be a struggle, but somehow that way was made. I just encourage you to refocus and readjust. When it says to keep your thoughts on these things, this is the thing that we talk about, and it's even, and we talk about in therapy, when they talk about thought stopping, which is when they talk about the word is bringing every thought into captivity. That's the same thing. You have to take those thoughts, the things that you've been constantly feeding your mind on, and you have to take that thing, you have to bind that thing up like this, that thought, you ugly, boom. You'll never make it, boom. Nobody really likes you, boom. You all by yourself, boom. I'm snatching it. And then I'm going to take all those things up. And I have to start reframing that I am loved, that I am going to make it, that I am more than a conqueror, that I am going to do these things, that my friend did call me today, so I am loved. You start receiving these things in your ear. And then you begin to focus on those things as opposed to focusing on what it is within you. You begin to lose the thing that is really already inside of you. Well, you say, Michelle, right now inside, I am feeling broken, but I want you to reach a little deeper inside of you. And remember, if you are at a place and you are watching this live, you have had moments wherein you thought you were going to break down, but you broke through. You thought you were at that moment wherein that man left you. You remember how it was when we were in high school or elementary school, whatever, and you had that first crush, and that crush broke your heart, and you thought that it was the end of the world. You thought that, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Oh my gosh, I'm not, how I'm going to be able to see him. How I'm going to be able to face him because they left me. I'm not going to be able to do that. But I just encourage you that you continue to move forward and refocus. Because we have had those moments where we thought we were not going to make it. We thought that we were going to break down. We thought, oh my gosh, how can I do this thing? I can't do this thing. I'm not going to be able to do this thing. But you did it. You were able to face that boyfriend. You done got a whole new. I look at some people that I date, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. And then I'll be like, God, I thank you for deliverance. Thank you, God. Thank you. So refocus. The glass is only half empty if you see it as such, because that glass is still water for you to drink from. The glass is only half empty if you say it is, because it's still water for you to drink from. So I want you to begin to start drinking on those things of I can make it. I'm going to make it. I am going to break through. I am going to be pushing through. I am more than a conqueror. I don't have to allow this depression to beat me down. I am going to make it. A refocus and a readjustment. I got to refocus and I got to readjust my thoughts, even if I have to kind of write them down. Even as that telephone started ringing, and y'all, don't y'all talk about me because I still have a home phone. Yes, I do. I still have a home phone. And I love to have my home phone because I can turn off my cell phone. And the people that are vital and important to me, they know to call that house phone first and the cell phone second. So I'm able to kind of unplug. So I am still old school. But just how life interruptions try to come in and to get me off this live because they want to chit chat. I'm not going to engage in that because I'm focused. I'm focused on this live. I'm focused on what I have to do. I'm focused on encouraging you. So I had to readjust. So I say to you to refocus. I say to you to readjust, because you have two things already for you. You still have a purpose. You still have a plan for your life. That takes time to discover it, because sometimes people don't really understand that what their purpose is, because your purpose was already inside of you before your mom and your dad met. That's your purpose. Now, your plan is what we do, because sometimes we can make our plans, but do we really take that time to get those steps for them to be ordered by God? Because those are two different things. Because he's not going to push his plan upon his plan that he wants on you and the purpose that he has for your life. He's not going to push it on you. It's your choice. So if I am dealing with depression, I got to take that thought. I got to refocus. I got to readjust that I have a purpose. I have a plan. And it baffles me, because if I came in, right, and you all have a house, you all are close to people, you have people that you love. And if I came in today and I came in and started tearing up your house, and I just started picking up stuff, throwing the pillows down, going in the kitchen, doing all this stuff, pulling out food, all these things in your house, you will show out. This is how you have to be for your life. Situations are going to come and try to terrorize your home, to try to terrorize your life, to try to terrorize your marriage, to try to terrorize your family, to try to terrorize that new job that you prayed for, to try to terrorize that new birth that you had. Everything that you got as a blessing, best believe something's going to try to fight against it to try to make it a curse. Just me being born. Oh, yeah, you got to fight for that. You got to fight to be able to truly stay in this place. But I know that if I came into your house and I started tearing things up, and how you will be ready to punch me out, this is how you have to be for the battlefield for your mind. This is how you have to be for the battlefield of your emotions. This is how you have to be for the battlefield of your life. No longer allowing yourself to go through these situations, and allowing yourself to say, like this time that they calling again, when I am on this live and want to chit chat, that they trying to come into my life, that I'm staying focused. I am not going to allow depression to bring me down. I am not going to allow situations to pull me at a broken place. I am going to trust God. Not only am I going to trust God, I am going to embrace the uniqueness that I am. I am going to embrace and understand that this is a situation that I am dealing with now, but this is not the final chapter of my story. So I am going to turn the page. I'm going to turn the page. So I encourage you on today to turn the page. You have more in store and so many gifts in you. My goal is to have everyone that when they take their last breath, is they die empty. That everything that they were supposed to achieve in life, purpose, plan, that it is worked out. You may not feel it, but take a step. Take one thought, readjust. There are times wherein, people were trying to call and give me word. Just for me to be able to get up, wash my face, celebrate that. If you at a place where you're just able to answer the telephone and have a 5-minute conversation, celebrate that. If you are able to get through the day and you are able to not break down and you are able to sit at a moment and enjoy a movie during the week as opposed to just on the weekend, celebrate that. Take that bubble bath. Do what you need to do for you. But know that if you are watching this live, there is still two things for you: a purpose and a plan. And as those interruptions try to come into my life, when they were trying to call me when I'm trying to talk to you on this live, those interruptions are going to come. But I have to refocus and I have to adjust. Today is a day that you can begin a new start. So let's make that change on today. All right. You all have a blessed night. I am so excited, you all. I was trying not to get too full because I was so full on yesterday of the pajama day party is now full. I wanted to keep it intimate. I wanted to keep it small because I wanted to focus on the quality, and I wanted every woman to be able to get a hug, to get something that they can leave with. And I'm not going to say that I was sitting here fully expecting it to sell out or to get at capacity this soon, but God has truly blown my mind. I am a living testament that once God put his hands on it, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. But once God put his hands on it, no words. Just a yes. That's all he needs is a yes. So I am so thankful. Round of applause for my people, my team, the ladies who have purchased the ticket, those who have liked, shared, pushed, encouraged me along this journey. Thank you. I would definitely do a formal thank you and all the acknowledgments. But right now, I'm gonna end on that because I would definitely get emotional. But I am very humbled and very thankful to be able to be a vessel to be used by God. And so if anything that you all can take on today is that no matter when you think that something is so insignificant, but to God it is great, you be thinking that, oh Lord, my nose is getting red. Oh gosh, you may be thinking that it's insignificant, but to God is great. You may be thinking, oh, I'm just this little, you be, oh gosh, this is just something, just a little old thing. But to him, you don't know what it is that you're doing to impact someone else. You don't know the life that you live. You may not be on a major stage, but God is still using you for major moves in someone's life. Someone is waiting on you to say yes and to move. So thank you all so much again. And I hope you all have a great night. Stay tuned because I will be releasing soon. I will be doing some monthly encouragement and webinars and all that soon to bring empowerment and then be launching. So just stay tuned because I will be launching a secret. I'll have to keep it a secret, but I can't tell y'all everything. But it's coming soon. And for my fellas, I know you all said, oh my gosh, when y'all gonna let me come? I want to come to the retreat. Y'all be thinking it's a retreat, but listen, we know how to get together and have a good time. We need some time with just us. But we're gonna have something for you all to be able to attend to. I'm working on that too. So I always remember that. I'm working on that. I'm working on it, I promise you. So thank you all so much again. You all have a blessed night. Know that today is the day that you can begin anew. So begin that new start. All right. Have a